Hello and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Retro. Once again we're going to be playing some games based on some good old fashioned Saturday morning cartoons, and this time around we're going to play something a little bit different. Last week we played Turtles in Time, a brawler based on the very popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course after the popularity of the Turtles there were quite a lot of different copycats, so to speak, and the Biker Mice from Mars were a definite copycat. But the game itself that we're going to be playing now is something a little bit unique. Instead of the usual platform game or brawler like many other cartoon-based games, this one is actually a racing game, which, as you can imagine, is very unique. What's quite weird about this game is this is the European version of the game, and for some strange reason, there is a hell of a lot of Snickers advertisements in this version of the game. I have no idea why. No other versions of the game have this at all, but it's just for some reason the European has some sort of mad sponsorship, and as you'll see, it's quite crazy. So we're going to play the game and just see if you get a good feel for the game. I've played this in a long time, so we'll see how we get along. It's very reminiscent of a game like maybe RC Pro-Am or Rock and Roll Racing on the SNES. But so what we're going to do is this is an isometric racing game. But before you get to start a race, you have to go to the shop or race. So for example, when we actually have some money, we can buy several things, all sorts of items. Buy a new engine, tyre, Snickers. See what I mean about the advertisements? It's pretty ridiculous. And a tornado shop, but we can't afford any of these things right now, so we're just going to go straight into a race and see how we get on. Square Town, that's a very descriptive name there, and it's a very easy track to begin with, he says. Hopefully I don't play too badly, so I'm at the head of the pack. So it's pretty... Oh, not off to a good start already at the bottom of the pack here. Think at least it's a relatively decent track to start you in. You've got these ground-based hazards that will slow you down, but it's fine. Got some ramps to jump over as well. Oh, there's another Biker Mice right there. Unfortunately I haven't got any weapons to kill him, but I have got a speed boost that I hit on the ground. The things of an isometric racing game like this, it's not always easy to see what's coming up next, so as you can see it's very easy to avoid. And it's not very easy to avoid being attacked by the other racers as well. As you'll see, I'll probably get hit quite a few times, and at this stage of the game you've got no real way of countering because you haven't got any money to actually buy any new weapons or anything like that, so it's actually quite difficult. But I don't know what happened there. I seem to have turned into some sort of alien chicken. There's quite a lot of laps as well in these races, even though the course itself is quite short. But I'm not doing very well here. I seem to do okay when I hit that speed boost, but then it kind of all goes to pot. Let's see if I can catch up, because I'm second to last at this point and it's a bit embarrassing. So there were quite a lot of these kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles knockoffs. And they all kind of fell by the wayside, really. I mean, just for some reason, like everyone wanted their own little piece of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pie, and I guess really nothing ever caught on as well for some reason. And I'm a chicken again. So I'm a chicken again. I don't know what's going on here. So like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they did come back a few times. So the Biker Mice were not quite so lucky. They did make a return a few years ago, but they kind of disappeared without trace. I believe there was a Nintendo DS game that was released, which didn't do quite well. So I completely lost, and of course there's more advertisements from Snickers. Even winners need something to satisfy their hunger. It's not even subtle, the product placement in this game. It's very unusual, even by today's standards. I don't think you could ever get away with having this much product placement and sponsorship in a game, especially one that is so clearly geared towards kids. It's quite disgusting actually. But nonetheless, I've got some money. Hopefully I can afford to actually buy something this time around. So let's see what I can afford. Well, can't afford an engine. I can't afford a tyre. I can't even afford a bar of Snickers. That's how bad we are here. I still can't afford anything. So you have this kind of vicious circle where I can't actually afford to buy anything, but I need better upgrades to actually win some races. Or maybe I'm just that bad at this game. So let's have another race just to see how we get on here, see if we can do any better. At the bottom of the pack again. You can only get better from here, to be honest. At least you've got that big arrow, that finger that's pointing you in the right direction. I'm overtaking someone for a change, although a horrible little area there. Oh, it helps if I actually stay on the track. It's quite a twisty track, this one. It's a bit of a jump from Square Town, this one. Oh, I'm a chicken and I've gone into the water. And there are dolphins as well. I don't know what's going on here. As if the premise of Biker Mice from Mars wasn't weird enough. So I'm doing really badly here. Oh, I appear to have some sort of gun. Okay, we learn something new every day. Of course, I've actually got to catch up to the other racers enough to actually use my gun. I think I remember this corner here. Oh, it helps if I actually stayed on the track. This game is surprisingly tough. It's certainly not as enjoyable as something like rock and roll racing, I'd say, but yeah, it's not a terrible game in terms of a licensed property. At least they've tried to do something different. I mean, a racing game is definitely a lot better than just your typical brawling game, or your platform game. They seem to have got the feel of Biker Mice pretty well. The sprites are detailed enough so you know who you're racing as. All the characters are here, and everything's bright and colourful as you'd expect from a game based on a cartoon. And the racing mechanics are fine. It's you don't really need to use the brake, from what I found so far. But doesn't seem to be much rubber banding going on. Oh, I've hit someone for a change. So I'm fourth. We're doing better. See if I can get a bit further this time around. Well, final lap. Well, I can't see myself becoming number one at this point. Not quite sure. Oh, I've just been turning some black goo. That's different. So I'm not entirely sure why this whole game is taking place in a race. I mean, it's not really the most orthodox way of defeating the villain. I don't know if the villains are trying to rule the world via a racing tournament. I don't know. Oh, fallen into the water again. And I've done really badly again. Not even. That was terrible. That was no better this time around. That was terrible. Okay. I think we're going to do one more race and just see how we get on. And there you go. More satisfying of hunger via Snickers. That was just awful. I got $700. That's really going to be useful in buying me absolutely nothing. So let's have one more race, just to see if we can at least finish on a high. The Maze. It looks kind of like Square Town, but I guess it'll be a lot different when we're actually racing. And we're in a sewer, which kind of seems like the Ninja Turtles territory. Don't even know how they got the cars here, vehicles here already. And there's some Snickers hoardings, because that's what this game needed, was more advertisements. Ooh, this track's pretty confusing. What the? great, and there's lots of environmental hazards as well, just to keep you on your toes. Lots of very nasty sharp corners here as well. Let's see if I can shoot this. Ah, I got a long shot, and I'm turned into a chicken again. Oh, let's take a corner here. Ow, that hurt. And I've been turned into some black goo again. I'm not sure how you regenerate after being turned into some black oily goo stuff, but nevertheless this is a video game and you can't really take things too seriously, especially with a premise like Biker Mice from Mars. So I'm still doing really badly at this game. I remember being a lot better at this. Maybe I'm just getting worse at games in my old age. I haven't quite got the reflexes I used to. So 2 laps to go. Just want a couple of enemies to shoot, just to, you know, not be last. I imagine a lot of this game is, of course, memorising some of the tracks as well. Oh, I've crashed. I kind of died there, which hasn't helped. That slowed me down even more. As I was saying, I think track memorisation is probably the order of the day here. I'm kind of getting the hang of knowing where I am at the moment, but I don't think that's going to help because it's the final lap and I'm still last. So, no, I've gone into a little crevice there. This isn't good. Me being bad at games seems to be a bit of an issue for me at the moment. Oh. And of course I am last. That was absolutely pitiful. Quite frankly, I'm going to stop right there before I look even worse. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully we'll see you next Saturday for some more Saturday morning retro. In the meantime, why don't you suggest some games? Why don't you Twitter me up at The Last Metroid? Suggest some retro games of a Saturday morning cartoon nature for me to play next time. You can also subscribe to us on the Nintendo Life YouTube channel and take a look at some of the other videos we've got going on here. We've got a lovely mix of new and old stuff, something for everybody. If you do that, and then until next time, we will see you around. Happy gaming!